Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Dayna Show. I'm your host, Dayna Kaplan. Before we begin, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, and leave your comments below. Fitness has always been a major role in my life, and in one form or another, I've always been active. But CrossFit had a very different kind of impact on me. It gave me purpose, structure, and a sense of belonging, and in many ways, it truly changed my life. My guest today, Vlad Patrati, is very much part of that world. Vlad has been part of the CrossFit space for many years as an athlete, as a competitor, and today as a CrossFit Level 3 coach. He now focuses on online coaching and hosts the STOIX Podcast, where he explores training, mindset, and long-term performance. In this conversation, we talk about how fitness looks different at different stages of life, how CrossFit has evolved over the past decade, how CrossFit in Israel has grown, and how both of us have evolved alongside it. We also touch on the fitness industry itself, the pressure, the expectations, and the sense of illusions around what strength and success are supposed to look like. For me, this conversation was deeply personal. Leaving the CrossFit space was its own journey, and sitting with Vlad brought reflection and perspective and reminded me why strength, movement, and discipline still matter even when the form changes. I'm Yisrael Chai. Let's get into it. Thank you so much, Vlad, for coming.
Thank you for the great introduction.
Yeah, b'simcha rabah. So what we were saying before, October 7th,
Yeah.
you left your family, you left your job. How did you manage?
The job?
Yeah.
When I came back after this chunk of 136 days, my business was 70% off in terms of income and clients because everything was kind of remote. It's funny because before that we had the COVID time, right? And all the gyms were closed.
That's
and,
right.
And I kind of enjoyed the fact that I transitioned from owning a gym into this remote work. And I was like, the time is amazing. I still have clients. I can be at home and I can just work from here. I don't need to worry about my gym. And then it was like backwards when I went to Milwaukee because the business kind of became smaller, but I recovered pretty fast.
Yeah, were people still training like when October 7th happened?
Yeah, okay, not the first time, like maybe first few weeks less, but then I think that's like the hardest part of doing Milwaukee. When I started, it's like it felt that everything stopped.
Right.
Like I'm here in the army, right? And people at home, they're like not continuing with their lives. They're just stuck with me. They're like in the same spot, but at least I'm doing something. And then let's say after a month, everything goes back to normal, but you're still there, right? And then you come back home and you're like, everything is like normal, but I'm still in the army, Were
you able to do Livui while you were in the army? Were you able?
I did, yes. I at the beginning not at first, but then you kind of get into this more routine work and stuff. So yeah, I had a little bit more time. So I was still writing programs, and for the gyms at least, for the athletes, I wasn't the best, but I did what I could. So yeah, I was doing. I wasn't promoting it or anything, or bringing new clients in, but maintaining what I could. Yeah,
excellent.
And recovered pretty fast after I came back. But since then, I'm kind of playing with my next millennium cycles. I try to keep them very short, and if I do one, so it will be a week to week, because then I can't recover again. Like I remember speaking with my wife, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not building this business third time. If I go to another 136 days, I'll just close it. I'll find something else to do.
It must be really hard. It's a hard job working in fitness, and also the online coaching in general, because you have not only do you have to ligayis and get people, but you have to maintain them as well. It's hard.
That's the part of the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything in fitness is this. Same with gyms. Like you have to bring new clients, but you also have to have a good retention with the clients. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to grow, it's
I want to
not
start
easy.
from the beginning with you because I assuming that means some of my listeners might know who you are, but some might not. So let's go back to the beginning, your background. Where were you born?
Oh, so that beginning.
That beginning. Where were you born? Like, what was your education like?
Yeah, I was born in Moldova. I don't
Really?
know if people know where it is. It's between Ukraine and Romania. It's like a piece of land with very good wine, but nothing else. Like I was born there. My parents.
What language do you speak there?
Okay, so it was a USSR beforehand, before it became Moldova. So when I was growing up there, most of the people were speaking Russian, and that the second language is like it's Romanian basically, but with some dialect a little bit different, but it's Romanian, and yeah, until I got to Israel, 2000, yeah, 2000. So up until then, Russian was mostly the main language. Here and there, people who were speaking Romanian, it was like, those gypsies. Yeah. But then it changed. I think same happened like in Ukraine. They were speaking Russian, and then they became kind of more of like, this is our nation, this is our language. So same thing happened in Moldova. Now they speak more Romanian than Russian, but still Russian is there. So I never like spoke Romanian.
Are you guys Jewish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you have a Jewish education there?
So before, like a year before I came to Israel with my parents, they knew that we will move to Israel. I went to a Jewish school.
Okay.
It was it was different because beforehand I was studying it was a kind of like a private school, but we were like dressed in a suit with like very USSR style. But it was a really good school. Pretty hard to study there, but as a kid, like I remember a lot of homework and stuff. And then I moved to this like Jewish school, and it was just fun. I could wear whatever I want. It was easier, so I had a lot of fun in the Jewish school, and Purim and stuff. One thing like about being Jewish, I've been in Israel when I was 4 years old. So my parents moved to Israel, moved to Ashdod, and with my grandmother and her parents, we all moved together in 1994. Spent here a year, and Ashdod was just like basically sand, right? So like, there was nothing much to do there. And my father, he was young. My parents they made me when they were 20, so they were like 24.
They made you when
Yeah,
you were 20?
yeah.
Okay.
I was born when they were 20, and they were like 24, 25. So they decided to move back to Moldova because I don't know, had more stuff to do there. And so I spent a year in Israel, and kind of was visiting my grandma each
Do you
summers.
remember that?
Yeah, I went to kindergarten and everything. So yeah,
Okay.
remember it pretty good. So I knew about like what Purim is, because in '94 it was, I think, much more fun like than today. You had those parades on streets, and I remember this stuff. So when I went to Jewish school, yeah, there were like Hanukkah and Purim, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I know this. I know this stuff.
Okay.
I know it in the original way, not the one they're trying to do in Moldova.
Okay, but did you have all those customs there? Did they celebrate like
In the
Chagim?
school?
Yeah.
In the school, yeah. In the Jewish school, yes, they did. At home, no, we didn't. We're not kind of, at least until now, I think, last few years. But in Moldova, no, we never celebrated like Hanukkah or Jewish traditions or anything. Then I got to Israel, and I was like,
Not even Yom Kippur?
nope.
Really?
As I remember, nope.
Okay, so what about you was Jewish besides you going
Besides
to a Jewish
me
school?
being Jewish,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it.
Did you experience
much.
any anti-Semitism there?
Here and there, when I think about it, like now, like think of try to remember it. Not really. Like it was between kids.
Like bullying, more
Yeah,
like bullying.
more bullying than I never felt like. I felt that people are sometimes jealous at the time, like going to my grandmother in Israel. Like that was a thing, that they were jealous that I was kind of Jewish, and they have to be stuck there, and I can just move and visit Israel and come back with fun stuff from there. This is how I felt. Like I really enjoyed being Jewish, and in Moldova, I never felt anti-Semitism in a way we talk about it now, or no, never.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in 2000, we moved to Israel, and the reason was my mother. She's a doctor. She's Fat Mishpacha. How you say?
Family,
Yeah,
general,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, family doctor.
Family.
And in Moldova, it's not a career you want to pursue. The salaries are very low. Intellectually, it's not like most people. Just the husband works business and stuff, and the wife she just stays at home, and she got tired of it, and she really wanted to kind of pursue her like the career as a doctor. So that was one of the bigger reasons we moved to Israel, because here she could become like a real doctor and do what she loves. And so yeah, so we moved, and she continued studying here. Shlav Aleph, Shlav Bet, they have all those like stages.
Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a brother who is a kind of like a black sheep of the family, and I have a sister who is 15 years old now.
15 years older than you?
Yeah, no, she is 15.
Oh, she's
right
15.
Now. Yeah,
Okay,
so it's
fine.
like I'm 20 years older than her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, getting into master's division in CrossFit.
Wow. Wow. Cool.
Yeah. Not young.
Yes, you are. You are.
Yeah, so I have a sister and I have a brother. My brother is 28 and my sister is 15.
Okay.
The best babysitter I could ask for.
Okay. So you came to Israel.
Yeah.
Now tell me when your CrossFit journey started. Was exercise and fitness part of your education at home?
I don't know if at home, but at age of 12, I started doing Greek-Roman wrestling. And that was, I think, 12 or 13 maybe. And that was like the first time I kind of started doing a sport, not just like a class. Like you can go to like karate classes and stuff. I did this stuff all along the way because my parents made sure that I'm occupied. But then I started with Greco-Roman wrestling, and it all started from my father. He's how do you say it? Mechanic. He's a mechanic, and he was working with BMWs, and he had this Georgian friend who had a BMW, and I met him at his garage.
Yeah.
And he was huge. He was huge, like broken ears, cauliflower ears, and he was just like traps, no neck, just like traps and shoulders, and he was huge. And I saw him, and like he shook my hand. His hand was like twice bigger than mine, and I just asked what are you doing? Like, how are you this big? I was like, wrestling. Like, you want to try? Yes, maybe. And then I went to a first class. I didn't finish the first class. Like, I was just, as in CrossFit, like you're just dying halfway through the class. And then my dad asked, like, so you would like to start? And I'm like, yes. Okay, great. After you say yes, you can't go back. You'll have to do it at least for the next year. So I started, and that was the first time. Like, it was a real coach who was like coaching us, and it was his career, and he was like very into it, and that's it's a tough sport, but I think it builds kind of this love for fitness and for improvement and getting better, and just overall like it's not same, but kind of the feeling that I found later in CrossFit was the same feeling I was kind of looking for after I like finished my army service and everything. I went to the gym, and we were just doing like some powerlifting and mixed with bodybuilding. I was always like interested in how can I make this better, what is like optimal and not optimal. But I never found this feeling of fire breathing after the workout, like really working hard, until I knew about CrossFit. I knew what it was, but never like tried it.
At that age, you already knew what it was?
No, it was after the army.
Oh, after that.
Yeah, and when I tried CrossFit, I was like, oh, that's how I was feeling when I was doing like wrestling. I like this, and then I started with CrossFit.
What's the feeling?
The effort, I think. The effort and this pursuit of getting better at a lot of things. Like you can be good at something. I was pretty good at running at some point in my life, maybe after the army. But then I kind of then you try those workouts with like deadlifts and burpees, and you're running, it just doesn't count. Yeah. And then you want to improve in those things.
Right.
And then you don't want still to be good at running. And then you find this kind of, it's a loop when you want to improve in a lot of things. And I have I don't know if I don't really have a diagnosed ADHD, but in terms of like my life and things, I like to switch context. I'm getting bored pretty easily, and CrossFit just kept me in there because it was always something new. Okay, I can't walk on my hands, like handstand walking. Great, that's my new like project. I want to walk on my hands now. Like I'm Olympic weightlifting. I'm not mobile enough. Okay, now I can pursue this. So that's like why I love CrossFit, and the methodology itself. It explained everything pretty like better than any other methodologies. Yeah.
Do you remember your first class that you took?
I started doing CrossFit. I was working for a year in Nice in France, and I was kind of how do you call it, bodyguarding. I don't know how to call it for
Oh,
a.
really?
Yeah, it was Lily Safra's mansion, and we're like team of 6 Israeli guys working there for a year. And I just started CrossFit. We had like this big house where we were living, and we had. Just a lot of space in there. So I just started doing CrossFit from CrossFit.com and just watching YouTube videos and started by myself. But then when I came back from Nice, I went to CrossFit Ashdod. It was, I think, 12th CrossFit affiliate in Israel that opened. And it was so OG, we had like just space and a few barbells and like taking them out every workout.
I remember.
So, yeah.
I remember my first CrossFit class was in a parking lot somewhere.
Same.
In Modine. And, it was Murray. He brought a whole bunch of dumbbells and barbells, and we just started throwing things around. And it was like a lot of running, because there wasn't a lot of equipment. Yeah, but it was great. I also felt like, because I always, throughout my life, I've liked to stay in shape with different things. And I was so bored going to the gym. And the first time I tried CrossFit, I was like, wow, this is so dynamic. It's like you can never get bored because every workout is different. And like you said, there's always something that you're not good at that you have to improve. And it's very competitive. Like you're always, with a bunch of people, you see that guy's lifting like 40 kilos more than you, and this person can like run faster or walk. And so it's like you're always trying to improve,
Yeah.
which is also not, for me, wasn't a good thing, because I felt like, when am I just going to be able to work out for fun and not feel like I have to compete at every single workout? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, as you get older, well, you're a youngster right now, but as you get older, working out has different purposes in your life, right? To get stronger, to look better, whatever it is. But at some point, it's like you just want to enjoy and maintain instead of like having to push yourself every single time.
I think it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the methodology itself in CrossFit, there's no competition, but every workout should be measurable and observable. So we want data. So if you train without measuring your results and trying to improve them, you're just exercising. You're not doing CrossFit. Like you can go to...
But what's wrong with that?
Okay, it's like in business, right? You have to be in some trajectory. You can't like stay in one place. You have to be like growing or declining. Like if you're staying in one place, probably you start declining pretty fast. This is what happens with human body, right? If we just exercise and we don't improve our metrics, over time we get older. At some point, those like fitness metrics as strength, speed, endurance, mobility, they will get worse just because we're human beings, right? So as long as we can kind of push them upwards and improve them, we should use it. Like we should do it. At some point, we will do just exercise, right? At some point. But if we're still capable to push our limits a little bit, it should be like I remember those times, like I enjoyed them, like competition every workout. But right now, like I don't train like this. The clients that I work with, they don't train like this, right? In remote coaching, they're competing with themselves. But we still measure, we still try to push their fitness, their performance here and there, and without it, it's just not CrossFit. Like in the methodology itself, if it's not measurable, if it's not observable, if you're not trying to improve your performance, then you're just exercising, and it's okay. It's just not CrossFit.
What is the difference between the way that you train now and the way you trained in the beginning?
Oh, that's a Interesting question. Okay, so
Do you know?
I think like it's a lot.
It's a lot. Well, you could give we can get into
It's
all
like
of it. But
I just had a interesting Instagram conversation with coach from like he's not from Israel, but we had this short conversation, and told him it's like the Dunning-Kruger effect. Like at the beginning, like you think you know everything, but you don't know shit. You don't know nothing, and
you
then
could say shit if you want.
ah yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
you're allowed to
okay.
say whatever you want.
Okay. Sorry. Like, can I say it?
Sweet.
So at the beginning, you know nothing, but you kind of, at some point, but you think you know everything. And this is how it goes with CrossFit. Like you just do random workouts that you find online, and you think you understand the methodology. And then at some point, like at least as a coach, you get to this point when you're just overwhelmed with information, VO2 max, and how do you improve that? And this strength program is just not optimized for my, tibia length or stuff like that. Like you get very, very specific. And I'm at the point like after this, when I still like I go back and I'm like, yeah, just doing CrossFit works pretty well. Like you don't need all this, high tech stuff to get better at CrossFit. But it changed. It changed a lot. When I started CrossFit, there wasn't a lot of information out there, so kind of we had to discover everything by ourselves with old YouTube videos, looking for stuff. Now you have like courses and everything about all of it. Like you can, programs. I write programs like for anything. Like when I was trying to learn double unders, I had to figure out myself. Now, you have like free programs, you have lectures, you have whatever you want.
I think I learned how to do double unders from you.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. I think you taught me how to do double unders.
That's a great contribution.
Yeah, it was. It was. But for now, yeah.
Yeah, but if I kind of, we have an hour of a podcast, so if I need to make it a little bit shorter, I think now I do a lot of much more strength training for my clients and for myself, and much less conditioning. And the conditioning pieces, like the metcons, the stuff, they're very, like they have an idea behind them. They're not just random movements. Like we want to improve something, that's why we do it. People are not strong enough even for competitive CrossFit. Most of this performance will get improved if you will be stronger in squats, deadlifts, bench press. Yeah, and I just started to take a lot of stuff from different coaches, like really influenced the strength and conditioning space throughout the years. One of them is Charles Poliquin. He was like this father of strength sensei. He died a few years ago, but he had those like ideas about strength balance. Like if you're benching, you should be power raising 10% of the bench press, and this is how you create kind of this strength balance in shoulders. And shoulder is one of the most common injuries in CrossFit. So you kind of you become more educated with time, and you start doing things more purposely, and not just you have pain in your shoulder, do some farmer carries. Why? Because I saw it on some YouTube video, right? So now I have like more knowledge, and throughout the years, did a lot of courses and just studied a lot. Now with ChatGPT and everything, it became really easy to study new themes. I just do like, if I find some idea or about fitness, something I want to understand more, I just do a deep research, throw it into Notebook LM, create a short course for myself, and that's it. Like it became very easy. But yeah, my coaching style changed a lot throughout the years. More tempo work, more like the things are very progressive, purposeful, and individual for clients.
Are you still like a CrossFit coach? Like, are you?
In terms of,
you have to every few years you have to like renew your coachmanship, don't you?
Okay, so in CrossFit, in terms of seminars and education, you have those levels: level 1,
Right.
level 2, and level 3, and level 4. And first two are just seminars with a test at the end, the level 1 and level 2. And people sometimes think that you can. It's very short, like in 2 days, people will teach you how to do fitness. In level 1, they basically teach you what the methodology is, like
Right.
how to look at fitness, like kind of to open your eyes. Level 2, they teach you how to coach people in a group class, how to, or not even in a group, or just how to be better at just coaching. Like why you should say someone's name before you give him a cue. You can like categorize the cues like into a verbal cue, a visual, and a tactile cue. And you have this hierarchy. Like if you work with someone, you should start with verbal cue because you can just shout Dayna, knees out, right? Easy. If he doesn't understand, then you can go with the visual cue. Still from afar, you can show it, Dayna, my knees out, and I can show you the movement, and maybe you'll fix it. And the last one is the tactile cue because then I need to come to the person and like touch and show him and move him around to show him the position. And if you don't think about it this way, like I should always start with verbal, I should then move to visual and then to tactile. Then in a group class, when you have like 15 people, you just move around and position everyone. You miss a lot of like, 10 out of 15 just didn't get any coaching through this part of the session. So kind of this is the stuff that they teach you at level 2. So you just get better at coaching. And level 3 is not even a seminar. You just have an exam. You pay, I think it's overall costs like $600. You have this long list of everything you should know as a coach, and then you just study by yourself. And if you know, then you do the exam. If you pass, you're level 3. That's a very American kind of way of doing things. Like if you want to be a good coach, you go study, do whatever you need to be a better coach, and we'll just test if you are good enough to get the level 3. And so I think right now we have like 13 level 3 coaches in Israel, which is a lot. Like Israel is very small, and that's a lot. And level 4, they're changing it now. I think they're changing it this year, but beforehand was you just go to USA, you go to a CrossFit gym. They have 3 or 4 other level 4 coaches. They bring you into a class. You have a written workout on the whiteboard, and you just coach the class. And after this class, they tell you you're good enough to be level 4 or you're not, and it costs like $1,000. And if you're not good enough, you get some, pinpoints like what you should improve, and then you go home. There are not a lot of level 4 coaches. They're very picky with everything. Like if you don't coach through warm up, let's say someone does it's just a warm up, right? Do some air squats, and you don't kind of coach and fix and make people move better in the warm up, or don't say their names. Like you can, hey you. There's no hey you. You should ask the name. Like as a coach, you should.
When is that happening for you? Are you going?
Level 4? I won't. I will not do a level 4.
You won't?
I'm not. It's all about group coach, kind of coaching groups, and I'm not there right now. I don't work a lot with coaching groups. I do seminars and private sessions, but most of the time, like it's not. I'm not coaching classes. Kind of moved out from.
You're not coaching classes now at all?
Here and there, occasionally, but no, not as a day-to-day practice.
Really?
Yeah. And you should be really good at coaching classes
Do you
to
miss
pass the level
it?
4.
You were a really good coach.
Yeah, I. That's
As
why
I have said. Wow.
That's why I do seminars. Like I do seminars. I don't coach daily classes.
You don't like it?
I do like it. It's just time consuming, and then we have 24 hours a day, and I can work remotely with my clients and write programs, or I can go and coach few classes. So I need to choose. Yeah, so I choose to.
Quick pause because there's something I want to tell you about that I'm genuinely loving. I've partnered up with Groovim Socks, an Israeli sock brand that knows how to have fun with identity. Their designs cover everything from Theodore Herzl to shakshuka, culture, humor, and personality that you can actually wear. And honestly, if you're like me and have a hard time choosing gifts for people, this is the perfect option. It's fun, thoughtful, and something people can actually use. And here's the deal. When you order 3 or more pairs, you get 45 shekels off. Just use the link in the description below, or say my name, Dayna, Dayna, at the checkout, and you'll get your discount. Now back to the episode. Can we talk about affiliating with CrossFit? It costs a lot of money to affiliate with CrossFit, especially in Israel. And I want to talk about their approach to Israel. But like, you see so many gyms now that have like applied the CrossFit method. They all do functional training. Does it really matter if the gym is called CrossFit or not?
It does. It does.
Why do you think so?
The business model of CrossFit is affiliates. to become a CrossFit affiliate, you have to do the level 1. Now you have to do the level 2, and then you can open a gym. You apply for affiliation, then you pay $4,500 a year, which is not much. Like in business terms, it's not such a such a big amount. Like if you look like as a business, right? For me as a person, yeah, it's a lot of money. It's another vacation a year, right? But for business, $4,500 a year, it's not such a big number, but still it's there. And then you can start promoting CrossFit. Like you can use the name CrossFit in your gym. Like I'm doing CrossFit. And the business model of CrossFit as an entity is the affiliates. It's not like the seminars are there, but most of the money that the CrossFit LLC earns is from affiliates. Without affiliates, we'll have no CrossFit.
So
like all the things that we love about CrossFit, right? Everything that the CrossFit Open, the CrossFit Games, all the media that we had, like everything that is good about CrossFit that comes out from CrossFit HQ, we pay for it by having the affiliates. If there are no affiliates, there is no CrossFit. And then every gym is just a functional training.
Okay.
And then nobody's talking about the methodology. As I said, like if you go to a gym and you're not recording your scores, you're not doing CrossFit. What made CrossFit so effective for people is the methodology. That the movements, the programming, the recording of the scores, some type of competition, that's what CrossFit is. So if we remove it, all the gyms will just become functional gyms, right? Like those we do functional training, which is okay, but we will not have CrossFit if there will be no CrossFit HQ, and there will be no CrossFit HQ if we'll not have affiliates.
What has happened in Israel over the last 10 years in terms of affiliates? How many affiliates do we have now versus
79?
There's 79 right now?
Yeah.
Do you remember how many there were 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I don't have a number 10 years ago, but I think like maybe 40, 50. Yeah, we grew. We're like, in terms of like size of the country and the amount of affiliates we have, I think like we're in the tops.
Really?
Also, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Every city here has at least one.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I was actually I know in Gush Etzion, that's where my sister lived, they have one, CrossFit Gush, but they have another one in her city. in Neve Daniel, in the top of a mountain, someone created a CrossFit in their garage. It's unbelievable. It's everywhere.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. End of the day, I don't have anything about any other like gyms, functional gyms. That's great. I work with some. I write programming for them. They do things differently. But I think what CrossFit does by having those affiliates, it kind of sets, like this is what you should strive for. Let's say, okay, if you're opening a gym and you're looking for a coach, and you have two candidates, and one of them says, yeah, I coach like for the last 5 years at CrossFit affiliate, and the other says, yeah, I coached this and that functional gym. Probably, I'm not saying like maybe like both of them are good, but I will be inclined to take the CrossFit coach because probably he knows how to teach people to move better. Probably he has more experience with more complex movements and more experience with just different population. So it kind of sets, CrossFit sets this like mark, this level that just make coaches better and everything. And that's a good thing. And without affiliates, we won't have it. Like you won't have like good coaching.
What about the support that you get from CrossFit? Do they give you support?
By the way, I don't have an affiliate right now.
I know.
Yeah, I sold mine in 2018.
What, with Rose Valley?
Yeah.
But I know when you left Rose Valley, you started working in whatchamacallit, in Sea and Sun?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Nothing happened. I'm still there.
You're still there?
I do some seminars in there, at least once a month, like skill seminars for handstand walking.
But you didn't want to open up your own gym?
I thought about it, but no, not sure. I transitioned into this like remote kind of work with athletes, and like one of the reasons, not all of them, but one of the reasons after being an affiliate owner that I felt kind of disconnected from coaching and from doing like improving as a coach, and I was always like interested in this the VO2 max, how you make it better, right? And when you're an affiliate owner, if you want your affiliate to be good, you should be a good business owner. You can bring other coaches that are good at coaching, but someone has to be an a business owner, right? So I felt a bit disconnected, and when I went into remote coaching, I started working with athletes on like one-on-one. Yeah, it satisfied this urge of coaching people, because then you can see everything. It's not a group class where you just everybody does a workout, somebody improves, somebody doesn't. Like, that's maybe his problem, right? Maybe he doesn't sleep enough. But then when you work with clients one-on-one, if he doesn't improve, that's your problem. You need to change something. Yes, sometimes maybe like lifestyle habits. Maybe you need to make him sleep better. Maybe your programming is not good enough. Maybe your coaching is not good enough. So I kind of fell in love with working remotely one-on-one. And it's not like I went into remote work more than one-on-one like private sessions, only because when I started doing private like PT, personal training, I saw that after a few sessions, the athlete or like the client, he doesn't need me. I just count reps. He needs a good program, and he needs someone to stay accountable to, and here and there to make adjustments. And maybe once a month we can meet for a training session where I can just make a few adjustments, teach him a new movement. But he doesn't need to pay me like 200, 300 shekels for me just counting his reps. And I know that a lot of people like love PT because they feel accountable. But in terms of like value that you get from it, I think remote coaching is like it's a better option.
So besides the seminars, why do you need to have a CrossFit Level 3?
Oh, I just want it.
You just want it?
Yeah. I've always, after not having an affiliate in my own gym, I always stayed in this CrossFit space. And the last few years, I'm part of a CrossFit Israel. Is like a non-profit organization that kind of brings all the affiliate owners together. And I've been like being a part of it. We have like titles, but they're not really, everybody does like everything. I just have projects. So my title, I think, is head of education. Just I don't really do anything about education.
What is CrossFit Israel?
It was 2022, yeah. When we kind of Gershon, David Ben David, who else was there? I think Ram Dover, Yaniv from Greenbridge, just saw that there is a disconnect between like affiliate owners. Everybody is kind of by themselves, and they're just like fighting for your gym is close to mine. I'll take your clients and stuff like this.
Yeah, it was very competitive.
But CrossFit, yeah, it still is. But CrossFit, we should compete not with other CrossFit gyms. We should compete with like global gyms where people just pay and don't go. With other maybe places that may be less professional, right? So the idea was to kind of bring everybody together, and started with I think Daniel Sheffy coming here. He is a CrossFit director of like international director. He is like from Europe, from France, and they came here. We had a kind of seminar with him, and then it just picked up from there. We kind of started working on bringing everybody together and creating affiliate gatherings, creating a lot of, making CrossFit in Israel something that is more like global, having like this body that brings everyone together. It should be something that CrossFit does as HQ, I think.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
But that's one of the fun things CrossFit does. They give you freedom, do whatever you think is right. So yeah, started CrossFit Israel, and it's going pretty well. Like we had, do you know CrossFit Invictus?
Yes.
So I think a year back,
The green and white.
Yeah. They had a Zoom call with Gershon, who is the one who kind of manages all the shenanigans.
He was from CrossFit Ariel, right?
Yeah.
Is he still in CrossFit Ariel?
I think he's still an owner, part owner in CrossFit Ariel.
Yeah.
And so CrossFit Invictus had talked with Gershon on how they can kind of create their own CrossFit Boston or something like that. So yeah, to bring affiliates together, because nobody does it like how we do it here in Israel. It's part of being like Israeli,
we're all part of the same.
We just kind of bring everything together and do things that others don't. But
it's like selling alcohol at an ice cream store. Everyone just kind of comes together.
Yeah, so that's CrossFit Israel now has a lot because the gyms are together and they just have more power, right? So you have like if we can negotiate things
with the CrossFit International.
Not even with CrossFit International, with insurance companies, right? So if you like one gym, I need to insure my gym, but now we're like 79 gyms that want to have an insurance, and now we can negotiate with so we have like more power together to negotiate things for the gyms, make gyms better. We have affiliate gatherings where we always bring people to give a little bit more like education to the affiliate owners, and on business, marketing, and everything that's around like owning a gym. I have a competition that's called Affiliate League, and it's done together with CrossFit Israel, with CrossFit Israel.
Well, there's no more RFA?
There is, yeah. RFA is like this big yearly competition. Affiliate League is a competition that is made to kind of also bring affiliates together. It's a 4-week competition. Like every Friday, we have a competition day, and we just bring 30 affiliates, and they can bring a team of 4. They can switch, and then they accumulate points throughout those like 4 weeks. And we just finished one, and we had the finals we had in Eilat. So we brought 30 teams to Eilat. They had a great time. We had an amazing competition.
Oh yeah, I love Stas. I love Stas. He's fantastic.
Like one of the workouts, we wanted one of the workouts to be really like all days. So that was, an idea was to bring them out to a parking spot, and it was at night. So we brought cars to be like, like step up.
Yes,
like in the
yes,
step.
yes,
So
yes.
we brought cars to bring the lights.
Yeah.
And we were just doing Grace and Isabel, which is like snatches and clean and jerks. And at the beginning it was like, are you sure it's gonna work? And I'm like, yeah, trust me, it will work. And we have that, like, people had an amazing experience. So like bring people back 15 years back, and everybody enjoyed it. And also we had like a lot of different and workouts in the final event. In the end, Eilat finished second, CrossFit Namal finished first, and CrossFit Kiryat Gat finished third. And yeah, so
They have some really good athletes in Eilat, huh?
Yeah.
How do they get such good athletes? I thought there wasn't so many people in Eilat.
They stay very connected to the CrossFit methodology. A lot of CrossFit gyms now become more softer, like they become a little bit soft, right? Which is good because it brings more people. But
What do you mean by softer?
Less emphasis on recording your results, removing like movements like snatches, doing them occasionally, less CrossFit benchmarks, writing workouts that kind of will fit more of the population, like making them a little bit, I'm not saying easier, but more stuff that people will enjoy a little bit more. In the old days, we had heavy days, right, in the gyms. Heavy day is a day when you come to the gym and you just have like a back squat. That's it. You warm up and you just do 5 sets of 5 as heavy as possible back squat. That's it. That's your workout. It's very hard to sell someone CrossFit if he came for his like first session, trial session, to sell him CrossFit through a heavy day.
Yeah.
That's why we will not see, in most gyms, we will not see heavy days. It's great for our fitness. But we will not see heavy days. We'll see some strength portion, and then we'll have some conditioning part when everybody will get sweaty and enjoy the endorphins. And so it became easier to sell. But I think a lot they still kind of keep it CrossFit as it was. I think they still have like heavy days, and they have this culture of recording scores and everything, and that's kind of brings athletes to this more competitive space. Mm-hmm. And that's like, I think that's the reason. Stas, right? So the owner, it very depends on how the owner kind of sees things.
Yeah, and I think the owner of each gym or each box brings their own flavor.
For sure.
Right? I want to ask you something. It might be a little bit sensitive about October 7th.
Yeah.
And the CrossFit attitude towards Israel. Were you like disappointed about their lack of support? Or do you feel like it's not necessary? They didn't owe us anything.
I was a bit disappointed, because they said nothing.
They said nothing.
They said nothing, and I was a bit disappointed. But then Dave Castro, who is like this, currently I think he's the.
He's also problematic.
He's the most like the original founders of kind of CrossFit, and he's this this guy that everybody knows and talks about in CrossFit space. He came to Israel.
After October 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came here, we met him, and he explained kind of CrossFit, it's a kind of global company. He can't really decide what to post tomorrow. Like there's a board, there's like marketing teams and stuff. But he came here and we really enjoyed the time with him. So no, I don't.
But there were athletes from Israel that were killed.
Yes. There were. we had this year when I finished my kind of the first cycle of my Miluim service, I joined David in programming for the RFA, for the big competition, and we named all the workouts in the name of athletes, CrossFit athletes that competed beforehand that were killed
Oh, really?
during October 7th. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So besides the growth in the affiliates, how else do you think that CrossFit in Israel has changed over the last several years?
It changed, well, like all around the world, it changed. Right? So everybody got a little bit smarter. We have more education. People are smart. Coaches are better. More people know about CrossFit. It's not this like underground movement with people who do, I don't know, snatches and thrusters and squats in the parking lot. Now we have gyms, with LED signs and and everything. So everything changed, but it's just changed globally, not only in Israel. And yeah, and I still think that CrossFit kind of pushes strength and conditioning and put us in a better place like before. The biggest CrossFit contribution to fitness, if you look at just like gyms, like Profit Gym or like, Holmes Place, each one of them has this functional space, right? When you have squat racks and you have barbells and you have like pull-up bars. When I was training at a gym, I couldn't find a squat rack. There was like maybe one of them, and it was like, it's some dark corner where you couldn't find it. Now every gym has the space because fitness changed. CrossFit changed how people view fitness. People do more movements like pull-ups. People do more squats. Deadlifts are not, this movement that everybody's afraid of. So that was like the biggest contribution of CrossFit to the whole like fitness genre. And now people just pick their flavors. Some of them do CrossFit. Some of them move to something else.
What about the rumor or the assumption that it's dangerous? That people get injured a lot. I know people said that to me a lot when I was coaching, and I was like, you can get run over, you can ride your bike outside and get run over. It's like if you're not doing it properly. But in the games, remember 2024, Lazar Ducic, his name, who drowned.
Yes.
Right? Did that like put up a siren for people? Did people like get a little bit nervous about that, knowing that at that level they weren't following safety procedures for athletes?
So it sounds like I'm protecting CrossFit. I'm not. I think that they could have,
that was really bad.
Arranged the competition better.
Yeah.
But in the end, like we should look at it as from let's say just business standpoint, right? So every city has their requirements for safety, right? For any competition or whatever you're organizing, right? People gathering. So CrossFit, I believe, right, to make this competition happen, they had their safety requirements by where was it this year? I think it was in Texas or something.
This year, I don't remember.
No, the 24.
I don't know.
It was very hot, but
very hot.
but to make sure that they can do the competition with the swimming, they had like the requirements. They had to like make sure that they stand with those requirements, and they did. Otherwise, they couldn't do the competition, right? Maybe it wasn't enough, but that they did what was required of them. I think that I don't think that like injury rates and the death of Lazar Dukic kind of are connected, because injury rates we see in the gyms, and CrossFit Games like is the competitions like the Olympics, right? So there's like a bit of a different path for CrossFit. CrossFit can be for health and fitness, and CrossFit can be competitive as a sport. So if we're talking about injury rates in CrossFit, just as a training methodology where people train to get just better being human beings, looking better, feeling better, the injury rates are 4 times lower than in running overall. So there is a systematic review that shows that the most common injury is shoulders, right. 29%. But same kind of systematic review shows that in swimming, we have 41% of shoulder injuries. Which means, if you tell someone not to do CrossFit because he'll injure his shoulder, and then you better go to swim, well, that's scientifically you're wrong, because he has he has a bigger chance to injure his shoulder in swimming. And every sport that has overhead movements will have some injury rate for shoulders, let's say. But if you look like overall, and also people sometimes, they see the results from those studies and they don't dig deeper, because you need to understand, like, you should look at what are the injuries that people are getting from CrossFit. And it's mostly overuse injuries, which is some inflammation. And those things can be managed with better coaching, load reduction, and that's it. Like, you don't have, in CrossFit, you don't have, traumatic injuries. Like, CrossFit just removed the bug jump overs when you jump on the other side. So from all the competitions, they removed the over part. So now you must step down, because they saw that there is an injury rate, even if it's small, that is traumatic, that people are jumping down and they tear their Achilles, their tendon, and they removed it. So overall in CrossFit, as I said, like, if we look scientifically, CrossFit has 4 times less injury rate than running. Every sport will have injury rates. My father started playing tennis, did CrossFit for a long time, started playing tennis, kind of really enjoyed it, and he torn his shoulder from just falling during tennis match. And I told him, like, you see, you did 10 years of CrossFit, nothing. Here and there, some pain, some inflammation, nothing serious. You played tennis for 3 months, and now you have like a torn shoulder. I think it's clavicle.
Yeah, like I said, you can get injured from anything.
Yeah, so I think with better coaching, we can manage injuries better in the affiliate. And for most people, like.
Have you had any injuries?
Always.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Okay. In September, I torn my pec.
You tore your back?
Pec.
Or your
Pectoralis
pec?
muscle.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
I did
Ouch!
ring dips and it
Ouch!
just snapped.
Ow! Oh my God!
Yeah, and then I competed in Ariel a month later.
And you were healed, or you were
I was
stupid?
I was stupid. I don't encourage
Great.
anyone to compete during after tearing
Wow.
a pec. But for me, for my kind of personality, I find that I need some challenges, because after I tore my pec, if I didn't have this competition coming, I would just stay on the couch for the next 2-3 months doing nothing. But because I had this competition, I kind of have to put myself into like moving and training, and like in a month time, I was pretty good. Like to
What
compete.
is that?
What?
What is that feeling that you would make you compete even with an injury?
First of all, I wouldn't do like movements. So I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, like.
You already do. Go ahead.
But no, but like I looked at the workouts and said, okay, this, and that. Like, I didn't do the final event because they had ring dips, and I just removed myself from this workout. But I don't know. Sometimes you need goals. Some people are more goal oriented. Some people are less goal oriented. I need goals and I need like challenges and to kind of keep me moving. It's not a good thing because it's very easy for me to get into this like slump of doing nothing until something happens, and then I'm like all stressed and then I start doing things. But that's just me.
How has your body changed in the last 10 years since you started CrossFit?
Well,
besides the injuries, like, do you train? You said like you train differently now than you did then,
yeah,
right?
I got stronger.
You got stronger.
Yeah, I run less, probably less conditioned if I would compare myself to my younger self, but I'm better at CrossFit, and like that's the sport that I'm doing. So this is kind of the important thing. As I said, a lot more strength training, quality strength training, smart conditioning. I do less, put myself into a position where I just kind of dying in the end of the workout, right? It's getting harder because you're so used, like, now it's like a PTSD from working too hard, right? You remember those workouts like, nah, I'm not putting myself in this position. Like when you do a workout for the first time, you don't have anything to compare, so you just do it, right? But now when I tried all the kinds of the workouts, I know the feeling before I get there. I'm like, I'm not going there.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
still, if we have like a competition, I can still push myself. How did my body change? I don't know. It changed a lot. Now it's pretty stable. The same like body weight, more or less. When I'm more into it, I am 2 kilos less. When I'm less into it, 2 kilos more. But more or less, I'm there.
Do you watch your nutrition?
I have like a guidelines I stick to. One of them is, it's a pretty simple one. I'm not a nutritionist, so any advice or anything, just do whatever you want with it. But I'm not telling you to do anything. But one of the things that I do that I found just works great for me, and not in terms of fitness, more in terms of like daily life, is just removing carbs from my morning, like from my breakfast. That's it. And I'm not. I do eat carbs, but later in the day. Just removing carbs from the breakfast kind of keeps me, I don't know, fueled and feeling good and active throughout most of the day. And yeah, and then I just add the carbs to, in the evening, and that's it. So this is like a small thing, and it keeps me kind of, I have like those like not really. I don't really. I make sure that I eat enough protein. Don't really count it, but I kind of, in terms of just more or less amounts throughout the
Yeah.
day. I remove the carbs from my breakfast, and that's it, basically. Yeah. And if I need to kind of get my body composition to a better place, I just start weighing myself every morning. And as I said in class, we want everything to be kind of measured. So I just start measuring my body weight, and then I kind of eat a bit less, and see if my body weight goes down or not. And if it's not, I eat a little bit less, and just kind of just playing with the numbers.
How many kids do you have now?
Right now, I have one, but my wife is on 37th week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She's
so
pregnant?
like two more weeks,
Wow.
and I'll have two.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So is fitness part of the education that you have for your kids, or is that something you
My
want to?
son is 5 years old. I think that with kids, I don't know. My theory is that they don't listen to their parents, but
From personal experience?
but they kind of mimic us. They see what we
Right.
do, and
Right.
then they do as well. Like I can tell him whatever, but if he'll see me kind of, I can tell him that fitness is bad, but because he sees me and my wife training, he enjoys fitness.
Right.
He loves his swimming sessions. He loves his taekwondo sessions. And if he doesn't have a training, he'll just ask, "Hey, Dad, want to go to CrossFit?" Like he wants to go with me to CrossFit just to jump from box to box.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I think they just mimic us. They see what we do and how we act, and they kind of copy us, even though they don't really listen to us.
When I was
So-
younger, my mom used to take us to the JCC. You know what that is? It's
No.
a Jewish Community Center.
okay.
It was like a Y. It was a fitness center. They had all the classes, but she took us every Sunday, and she did aerobics. And we just when we were very young, we watched her. But she sent us for racquetball and tennis and basketball, and it was really, really important for her that we were always involved in some kind of sport. And I would say, especially my brother, but mostly me, I've always been in some kind of fitness or sport regimen. It's just part of who I am. So I think it's really important what you're saying, even from an early age, for you to let your children see that aspect, because that's a really important part of chinuch as
Yeah.
well. I really believe that.
Sometimes I get those questions like why we don't have better CrossFit athletes, like competitive CrossFit athletes here in Israel. And now we're starting to see higher levels of those athletes.
Yeah,
And
well, it's interesting because we do have the army. There's a lot of training going on here.
there is
right?
not enough training. There is not enough talk or I don't know, sports that take strength and conditioning as serious as they do in US. Right. So if a kid plays football, not the soccer, the football, the American football, they probably know what a power clean and deadlift is from very young age. When they get to 20, when they get 20 and they start doing CrossFit, they have this large base of strength and speed and those qualities that takes time to build. And when someone finishes army service, where he mostly just carried his some weight on him, rocking, and maybe ran, maybe did some pull-ups, and he gets into CrossFit and his deadlift is 70 kilos, while same kid but in US after doing football has 200 kilo deadlift. It's a big you have years of training in there. And now we see in Israel we have also another body that's called CrossFit Teens, part of CrossFit Israel. But what they do, Shir Huber, he is the one, and Galzor, they're the ones who kind of manage it, and they push the CrossFit methodology into teens, like to make them compete, to make them better, and they do a lot of like great things.
And you think that will make a difference in providing athletes?
Yeah, it will.
Because I think in Chutz La'aretz especially, they look at CrossFit, especially in the United States, as like a religion. You know, it's like the CrossFit
It is a bit of a
athletes,
cult.
It is kind of it is kind of culty. It's like the clothes that they wear, the athletes, people look up to them. They're like some kind of god, you know. And it's like that was an aspect that I really didn't like. I want to tell you something that happened to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you asked me about my affiliate and everything, and
That was before we started recording.
yeah,
right?
yeah, and so.
You want me to ask you again?
You can ask me again, but
You were an affiliate owner. What happened to that?
I started, it was such a crazy time because, first of all, for many, many years, I wanted to have my own gym. It was a dream of mine, and the opportunity presented itself, and there was someone who wanted to partner with me to do it. But what happened was a couple of things. First of all, I started volunteering in Magen David Adom, and I got really involved in that. And then I was like, wow, I really, really like that too. For some reason, it was like, you know, that Avatar moment, like when they connect the hair, and I was like, holy shit, like this is really for me. This is what I want to do. And then COVID happened and all the gyms started closing. And I was like, I have to make a decision now. Like, what do I want to do? I feel like I'm being pulled in two different directions, and I really wanted to work there as well. So I made a decision that I was gonna leave CrossFit and do that. And I was working with Daniel Sherbakov. He was my coach, and he was really intense. I mean, it was a really intense program. Olympic weightlifting is something that you can't do half-ass. You know, it takes, like, you have to sleep properly, you have to train properly, you have to come prepared. And I couldn't balance everything. It just didn't make sense. I couldn't physically do it. And I have a family, I'm a single parent, so it was just too much. At the same time, I decided I want to do this bodybuilding competition, okay? And cool. Yeah, I was like always fascinated with bodybuilding. And one of the CrossFit athletes, she had done one. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to say Lashon Hara. But I started following her program. And it was just like, it was an online competition. It wasn't like super, famous or anything, but I always wanted to know like what the nutrition was like, how many times a day you have to work out, like what are the workouts like. So I did it and I won. I won the competition. I lost like the most amount of body fat. It was just really incredible. I did all the workouts. You have to work out twice a day. One's fasted, one not, one strength, one like Metcon kind of thing. Fasting, drinking 4 liters of water. Like it was just really intense. And I won, and I never got any kind of like acknowledgement. Not only did I not get any acknowledgement, she put a picture of a girl who wasn't even in the competition as the winner, okay? She had like big boobs and like a 6-pack and everything. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't about like the person. This is about their image. And these CrossFit or like these competitions or whatever, it's not about the person. It's a business. They're going to do everything to get the most acknowledgement from just the way that people look and not from the hard work that people do. And that kind of like, it stung. It left a very, very bad taste in my mouth about the business aspect of CrossFit and these athletes.
Industry.
The whole industry of what people look up to. And I'm like, that's not what I want to be a part of. Like, I really like doing the competition, and I didn't do it for any kind of accolade. But like, don't, diminish my effort just because it doesn't sell the way that I look, I was like, 50, I was 48 or something like that. I'm like, I'm not perfect. My body's not perfect, but like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Right? So it really changed the way that I saw the industry, the way that I saw CrossFit. Look, I have like 10 pairs of Reeboks just sitting in my cupboard. Like, why?
In defense of CrossFit always kind of prioritize performance and not aesthetics. So we can, if you go to a CrossFit page, you can see like people from all shapes
True.
and sizes
True.
do CrossFit, and kind of that. I think that was the first
But
thing.
acknowledge what I said.
Yeah.
Is there that
Yes,
that
of
aspect?
course.
Yes or not?
Of course, it's in fitness industry as an industry. Of course, it's all about money and business, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Here
But
and here as well, right?
in CrossFit?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't
Like
think
it
that?
is, it's still a business. People still need to make money, but I think, okay, Greg Glassman, when he invented CrossFit, he was a visionary. That's why he's not there right now, but he was a visionary. Like he never raised the prices for affiliation for the gyms that joined like for $500 a year. Never. He said like, this is my biggest asset. They joined CrossFit. They're like the first one. They're still there, not raising price. So I don't think that's all about CrossFit. Is maybe now that it's owned by shareholders, maybe it's a bit different. But still, at least CrossFit's idea is like if in bodybuilding it's all about the image, which is not bad. People look for aesthetics, so you would probably follow someone who has like images of great transformation on his page. But in CrossFit, it was always about performance and making people healthier through performance. That's, by the way, that's one of the things. Like I was talking about the methodology, but we never kind of got into it. But the whole idea of CrossFit is, yes, we have the competitive CrossFit, which is what we kind of did with all the Olympic weightlifting and stuff, and to get like better at this. But there is the bigger aspect for most human beings who do CrossFit is the health aspect. And when we look at, there's this fitness, wellness, sickness continuum in CrossFit that just says that all the metrics that you can measure, your heart rate, blood pressure, body composition, everything, and you can put it like on the scale, and the fitter the person is, which means he can do more things with his body, like power output, right? Work capacity, like you can do more work in set time. Let's say you have a 3-minute workout, like 3 minutes of running. The one who will run most meters in those 3 minutes, he's fitter, right? Then you do like 20 minutes run. Okay, then you do 60 minutes run. And we just measure those like different time domains, and the person that does more work, he's fitter. And the fitter he is, all those stats that we look when we go to the doctor, heart rate, body composition, body weight, everything, the fitter the person is, those stats will also improve. So, and when you are fit on the scale of the fitness, if something happens in your life, like you stop training, I don't know, you just get old or you stop training, then you won't go back to being like sick, with blood pressure over 180 over something. No, you'll move to well, which is like normal person, like resting heart rate below 60, 120 on 60 blood pressure. So that's why we kind of do CrossFit across age, across time. We want to be as fit as we can to be just more to be healthier. So even the idea of CrossFit is a bit different. Of course, it's a business, but this is what CrossFit is trying to push. Like it's trying to push this health thing. And so I think in those terms, it's a bit different from like bodybuilding, right? We're not talking about heart rate.
No, bodybuilding isn't a long-term.
Which is
thing
it's a good I use bodybuilding in my CrossFit training with my athletes to get their performance better, or sometimes maybe his biceps is a little bit weak or small, and now we can see in CrossFit competitions that the body sizes are getting pretty the same kind of body, same thing for men. It's around like 90 kilos on 10 to 12 body fat percentage. That's like the more or less like the average for CrossFit competitor. So we use bodybuilding as a tool, not as a kind of way of life. Bigger biceps is a thing. No, it's not. It's like it's a tool. You need the bigger biceps for better performance.
With your one-on-one training, are you only training CrossFit? Or are you doing like Olympic weightlifting? Like what's your main focus? Or
Yes.
is it like tailored to each individual?
It's tailored to each individual. And always people ask me like, who do you work with? And I say, I work with CrossFitters or work with people who did CrossFit for some time, and now they want more.
Oh, really?
They want more. Some of them want to compete, and then probably will do a lot of Olympic weightlifting or like working on their weaknesses, to make them better in competing.
I only want to do Olympic weightlifting.
Some of them, they kind of change their goals. Like you said, I just love Olympic weightlifting. Some people did CrossFit. They understand that they enjoy Olympic weightlifting with just having a good conditioning, right? And then they move I start working with them, and we work on the things that are important to them.
Is that enough for your health?
What, weightlifting?
Yeah. Like just resistance training? Or do you have to incorporate like endurance training as well?
Okay, so I think like for most people, doing resistance training will do more than just doing that, like doing just the conditioning. But a mix or a blend of both of those would be better. Of course, I don't think it should be 70-30 for most people. Like 70% it should be strength training and just getting stronger, getting bigger, getting better, getting faster. And then 30% of just conditioning work to have a great work capacity and live longer. This is like a great mix.
What do you say to someone who's a little bit older, like maybe in their like 50s or 60s? Well, I'm 50, so I'm not old, but 60s, who doesn't have any background in training whatsoever and wants to get into it? Like CrossFit seems like a little bit intimidating for them. What would you recommend?
CrossFit, group class. Just find the best gym in your area. How do you find it? You go to a trial session, you try it. It's maybe most of the times it's not the fanciest one. You just go there and see how much the coaches care about you if it's a workout, when you get there, they say hello, you just get into the class and you get one cue throughout the workout or some like cheers up and that's it. Probably go to another CrossFit gym, but most of them probably will be okay. Just find the one where the coaches care most and give you like a lot of attention. And even if it's not the fanciest one, just go there. And CrossFit is scalable like infinitely. You can do same workout for more or less same workout. Like for my mother and me, we can do the same workout. I'll work out with 125 kilos for deadlifts and she'll do 55, and I'll do handstand walks and she'll do wall walks. We both will get same stimulus from this workout. And it's a good place to learn to move. Even if you don't really enjoy CrossFit and you want to do something else, Olympic weighting, maybe some bodybuilding, even bodybuilding. After some time doing CrossFit in a good enough gym where you have some coaching, some good coaching, it will be so much easier for you to do any program you want, even bodybuilding, because now you know how to squat, now you know how to pull, now you know like all the like basic movements, you know how to move your body because you got coached through it. You know what intensity is, you know how to look for those like reps in reserve because you know what the failure is and what it's not. Mm-hmm. So just as even if it's not for like that, this is what I do. I think getting coached in CrossFit gym will do a lot of people a lot of good, even if they decide to do something else later.
What do you see for yourself like in the next 10 years in CrossFit? Like what's the future for Vlad?
Open my own affiliate? No, not really.
No, you said you don't want to.
I have an idea for an affiliate. It won't be a group class affiliate.
Do you think that you'll stay in CrossFit?
CrossFit is a part of what I do. So I think it will stay there. I don't know if CrossFit will be sold and it will change names. Probably I won't call the thing that I do, CrossFit. But yeah, I think this is what like strength and conditioning. This is the stuff that I do. And I'm a coach. What I see now, I'm shifting more into working with affiliates. I write programs for affiliates. I do like seminars for coaches in affiliates. So I think this is like every coach at some point becomes like a teacher, right? You get to this point. So I'm at this crossroads when I start to move more into teaching other coaches. Mm-hmm. It's still like small part of what I do, but it's there. Some had through this year consultations and with other coaches and gyms. So I think this will be the next kind of thing that I do, more of a coaching education and kind of passing the things that I know to other coaches. And still working remotely. Now I added another coach to STOIX remote coaching. So we work.
What does STOIX mean?
Oh, okay. When I sold my affiliate, I was at this point like, okay, I know I need. Who am I, right? I was an affiliate owner, and now I'm just a coach. And I was big in this STOIC philosophy. and there was no like ChatGPT to find like great names. I was just playing with names, looking
What
for
is
stuff.
STOIX philosophy?
A Stoic philosophy.
Yeah.
Stoic philosophy it's a philosophy from ancient, kind of ancient Greece, Marcus
Okay.
Aurelius and stuff, and it's a very it's a guidelines for how to kind of think about life and live your life. Very practical, not sometimes philosophy can be like just contemplating on a lot of things, and Stoic philosophy is more of like how you act throughout the day, right? So like simple things like there's nothing like good or bad that's happening to you. It's always like how you react to it.
Right.
So you can always like this stuff comes from like Stoic philosophy, and you know
Cool.
like not being too happy, because like when you have big ups, then you have like big lows. So you kind of I was very into it then. Even now, like I use a lot of it when I have crises here and there, and you're like getting really stressed, and you just kind of take a deep breath and just look at life more objectively, instead of being like very emotional about things. And then started playing with words, and one of them was stoa, which is a pillar. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do like coaching and like remote coaching, and it's like a pillar that you can like lean onto, right? And just started playing with it, and the X at the end was like, it's a cool sound. Like the X, like always in logos, the X is kind of like a cool thing to add, and just got to Stoics and started like using it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't some like deep thought or anything. It just started playing
But
with
it fits.
words, and it fits. Yeah, and just started using it since then, and then this is it. So I added a coach, and now we work together. So I think coaching education, this will be the next thing. Competition, the affiliate league, want to grow it next year. It was pretty big this year. Want to grow it next year. Remote coaching, still continue with it, of course. That's the big part of it.
What about CrossFit in Israel? Where do you see that going?
I don't know if there will be a big growth in terms of affiliates, but
How could there be more?
yeah, there's
so many.
like enough of them, let's say. But I think overall the affiliates will get better because of this competition. It makes everyone better. So without competition, but we wouldn't see air conditioning in CrossFit affiliates if there wasn't competition, right? Like at some point, all the CrossFit affiliates were without air conditioner.
That's right.
So I think this competition between CrossFit gyms will make them just better in terms of like coaches. Coaches will be better, and now you have a pool of like more coaches, and now you can choose. Like before, you just those are the coaches that live in my area, and that's it. Now you probably can choose. Okay, this one is a better person. This one I enjoy more. I think CrossFit needs to create like more media here in Israel. In terms of like everything, CrossFit coaches know how to coach squat better than anyone else, and I don't see a lot of like videos in Hebrew CrossFit coaches teaching how to squat.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
You don't see it.
Like that. That's
They're only
like,
in English.
That's why I kind of started creating some podcasts and now I just film it. Like if I do a seminar, I just film it and I just put it onto.
Good for you.
That's kind of the space. I need to double down on it. I just don't kind of always find an excuse, not to. So it's kind of in my back burner with everything, like the podcast and the content.
If you ever need a model.
Yeah. No, but really, I think we need more quality content in Hebrew.
Yeah, for sure.
This will do good for all the affiliates and everything. And now we started the project with CrossFit Israel, like making a CrossFit Israel channel for podcasts but yeah, we need more of it. Like every gym can be a content machine about fitness, and there is no reason not to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Vlad,
what are you doing now for your like training and fitness?
So as you can see, we're actually in my gym.
Yeah.
Well, I have a pull-up bar and a bench and an elliptical here. And so I've just been like really training at home. I mean, I have that barbell over there, but it's not really good it's not for
You're not
Olympic
doing
gym.
Olympic weightlifting with it?
Can I just tell you, like seeing you here now is making me so nostalgic because I miss Olympic weightlifting like I miss my best friend. I can't even tell you like how I dream about like standing at the bar and putting my hands on the metal and leaning back and like pushing and pulling and I like it. it still exhilarates me just
You
thinking
should do
about
it.
cleaning. I just love it so much, but I have this issue. Like, I don't want to work out in a regular conventional gym.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to work out in a gym, and I know this is a little controversial, but that has like hours to work alone. And a lot of the CrossFit boxes that you go to, they don't offer it, or they offer them at like weird times. They don't really like people that just come in and work on their Olympic weightlifting. And that's really what I want to do. I don't like, I don't know why at this stage in my life I've come to the point where I don't want people to watch me train.
No, I get it.
You know, it's like, it's a very like therapeutic thing for me. I'm not there to show off. I'm just there to do my thing. I don't want people to judge me or how much I'm lifting. Like when people would ask me, "Oh, that's all you can snatch? I can snatch." Like I'm like I
Who
don't
asked
care.
you? Who,
I don't
like,
care.
Really, who asked you, like, this is what you can snatch, I can snatch more? Who did it?
People from CrossFit.
Really?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not making it up.
No, I'm just...
So it's like, so I need to find a place, and I thought I could do it in here. Like I was gonna buy those collapsible rigs and put it on the. Do you think
They're
I could
pretty
do
cool.
that here?
I know it's pretty small, but I think yes. Yeah, you can, like... I don't know what you'll do about all this, but...
Well, so
yeah.
what happened is that one of my kids moved out. This was her bedroom. It's also the mamad. So I actually, before I had the studio, all of my equipment was in here. So that's what I wanted to do, is put a rig against the wall, and then I could just do the Olympic weightlifting. I don't know. I mean, it would be very tight, but it's manageable, right?
Yeah, it is.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay. So wait a second. I think I might still do it. I'm dying to go back. I dream about it all the time.
You should do.
Yeah?
You should
Would
go
you
back.
be-
You should also like check like around gyms. Maybe now they have better times.
I have checked.
Yeah,
It's
and
a problem.
It's still a problem.
It's not only that, like they're right. Like you don't pay a membership just to come and work out alone. If you're a CrossFit gym, then it's like futsal is really important.
It depends on their kind of business model, but yeah, like if it's in the some gyms have enough space to create a space for open gym and create space for the group. Some gyms have just a space for the group,
Right.
And then the hours when there is group, it's an operational capacity. Like they prefer the people who go to the group instead of this one guy who goes to open gym, uses a lot of equipment, leaves a lot of stuff around. Like it's just a very business wise, it's not wise.
Right.
So it depends on the like structure of the gym. If it's big enough, they have an open gym area. Great.
I was in this CrossFit box in Toronto, in Canada. It was enormous. Okay, and then they had one room that was for groups. And then they had a whole separate room just for open gym. And it was, first of all, it was gorgeous. And second of all, it was just, it was amazing. It was perfect. Everybody got what they wanted
There are
from
a lot
the
of
experience.
gyms now who move into this. They have like an open gym space and area, and they have a 24/7 access to it for the athletes. Like even if there is no coach, you can go to the gym, and if you have a membership, you should just go to the open gym area and just work out at 2 a.m. if you want to, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great model.
Totally.
Yeah.
If they would have had better hours, then I would have probably stayed in the space. But because I can't work out anywhere at 2 a.m. here, it was a problem. But I'm not finished yet. I mean, I've been training. I just haven't been doing what I like. It's always
What you
been
like.
Yeah. I mean, I just have to. I had to make it fit my lifestyle.
Yeah, you can build a small like Olympic weightlifting room here if you really enjoy it.
I do.
Mix it with some
I do.
bodybuilding and some conditioning, and you're golden.
Yeah, listen, I have all the things that I need. Yeah, it'll work out. I'm confident. Anyway, Vlad, it was amazing to see you.
It was great.
I'm so happy that you came, and I wish you so much success. You're so passionate about CrossFit and the coaching and everything. You're such a great coach, and you're such a positive person. I wish you so much great things in the future.
Thank you, and I wish you to grow this podcast to, I don't know.
Did you enjoy?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
Now, can we arm wrestle?
I'm I'm not good in arm wrestling,
I'm just kidding.
but we can do a CrossFit workout if you want to.
Really? Okay. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Dayna Show. If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to the podcast, like and share with your friends on social media, and rate us 5 stars. Don't forget to tune in next week, and we'll see you then.